The bank statement trembled in my hands, the zeros blurring through tears I refused to let fall. $0. Current balance, $0. 8 years. 8 years of babysitting bratty neighborhood kids. 8 years of tutoring students who called me nerd behind my back. 8 years of working double shifts at the diner, coming home reeking of grease and broken dreams. 8 years of birthday money, Christmas money, graduation money. Every single penny saved for one purpose: medical school. $87,000. Gone. There has to be a mistake, I told the bank teller, my voice steady despite the earthquake in my chest. She typed something, frowned, typed again. The account was closed 3 days ago. Joint account holder Jessica Turner withdrew the full amount. Jessica, my younger sister. The one who spent her college fund on designer bags and failed out of community college after one semester. The one who posted selfies with inspirational quotes about living your best life, while I lived on ramen to save every dollar. I drove home in silence, the radio off, windows up, like I was in a coffin. The house looked the same, beige suburban normal, my mother's prized roses blooming despite the October chill. Through the window, I could see them all at the dining table. Mom, Dad, and Jessica, who had bandages across her nose and bruising under her eyes. They were laughing. I walked in without knocking. The laughter died. "Oh, Meredith," Mom said, not meeting my eyes. "You're home early. Where's my money?" Jessica touched her bandaged nose delicately. "It's not your money. It was a joint account. That Grandma set up for MY education. With MY name on it. That I've been filling for 8 years. Actually," Dad said, setting down his beer with the careful precision of someone about to devastate you, "we're all on that account. Your mother and I had signing privileges too." The room tilted. "What?" Mom finally looked at me, and her eyes were cold. "Beautiful daughters deserve investment, Meredith. Jessica's procedures will help her find a good husband. That's worth more than any degree. You were never college material anyway," Dad added with a laugh that sounded like breaking glass. "Jessica's the pretty one. You're the sturdy one. Play to your strengths." Sturdy. Like I was livestock. Jessica stood, revealing the full extent of her transformation. Nose job clearly. Lip fillers. Something done to her cheekbones. She looked like every other Instagram influencer, beautiful in that manufactured way that would age badly. "I got a Brazilian but lift too," she said, turning to show her profile. "And breast implants. They'll look better when the swelling goes down. You spent $87,000 on plastic surgery? Don't be dramatic. Some of it went to the recovery center. It's like a spa. I needed proper care." I looked at my parents. Really looked at them. My mother, who'd been beautiful once and spent every day since trying to recapture it. My father, who rated women's appearances casually, like he was judging cattle. They weren't even ashamed. "I start medical school in January," I said quietly. "I already accepted. Johns Hopkins." Mom waved her hand dismissively. "Call them. Tell them you can't afford it. Maybe you can reapply when you're more realistic about your prospects." "My prospects?" I laughed, but it came out wrong, sharp and hysterical. "I have a 4.0 GPA. Perfect MCAT scores. I've been published in 3 journals. I spent last summer researching cancer treatments. But sure, let's invest in Jessica's ass instead." "Watch your mouth," Dad snapped. "Your sister is going to marry well. She'll take care of us in our old age. You'd be in school until you're 30, probably marry some broke researcher, and pop out kids you can't afford. I'd be a doctor. You'd be in debt," Mom corrected. "Jessica will be taken care of. Sometimes, Meredith, you have to think about the family's future, not just your own selfish dreams." Selfish. My dreams were selfish. My dreams of helping people, of curing diseases, of becoming something more than a pretty face that would fade, selfish. I turned and walked to my room. Behind me, I heard Jessica say, "She's so dramatic. It's not like she can't just get loans like everyone else." In my room, I sat on my twin bed, the same one I'd had since I was 12 because I wouldn't waste money on furniture, and opened my laptop. The Johns Hopkins acceptance email was still starred in my inbox. Tuition was $60,000 a year, not including living expenses. Without my savings, impossible. But then I remembered something. Grandma's letter. When she died 2 years ago, she'd left me a letter with her lawyer. "Only open this if they betray you," she'd written on the envelope. I'd thought she was being dramatic, old-fashioned. But Grandma had lived with us for 5 years before she died. She'd seen everything. I pulled the letter from my desk drawer. My dearest Meredith, if you're reading this, they've finally shown you who they are. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I know how much it hurts to realize your family sees you as a resource, not a person. Your college fund isn't your only inheritance. There's another account, one they don't know about. I've been moving money there for years. My pension, life insurance, the sale of my jewelry. It's in a trust, locked until you turn 22 or get accepted to medical school, whichever comes first. The lawyer has the details. Mr. David Chun, 555-0147. Don't tell them. Don't share. Don't forgive. Love, Grandma. P.S. Your sister is a parasite, your mother is jealous of your intelligence, and your father is a fool. You knew this already, but sometimes we need permission to admit it. My hands shook as I dialed Mr. Chen's number. Miss Turner, he said warmly when I identified myself. I've been expecting your call. When shall we meet? The next morning, while my family slept off their celebration dinner, I met Mr. Chen at his office. The trust was worth $342,000. Your grandmother was quite shrewd, he explained. She liquidated everything quietly, moved it in small amounts. She also left specific instructions. He handed me another envelope. Inside photos, Jessica stealing from my wallet, captured by Grandma's hidden camera. My parents going through my room, taking cash from my hiding spots. Bank statements showing mysterious withdrawals from my savings account over the years. Small amounts I'd attributed to fees. She documented everything, Mr. Chen said. She wanted you to know this betrayal wasn't the first. Just the biggest. Can they contest the trust? They can try. They'll lose. Your grandmother made sure of that. I had the money for medical school. More than enough. But I wasn't done. That evening, I came home to find Jessica live streaming, showing off her new face to her followers. My family totally supported my transformation journey, she was saying. They know that investing in yourself is never wrong. I waited until she ended the stream, then sent her a message from my account. Interesting surgery results. Hope the doctors gave you a warranty. She stormed into my room. You embarrassed me. Delete that comment. No. Mom. They both came running. The thing about my family, they moved fast when Jessica was upset. Delete the comment, Mom ordered. No. We'll kick you out, Dad threatened. I smiled. Please do. It'll look great in the letter I'm sending to every relative about how you stole my college fund for Jessica's BBL. They went pale. You wouldn't, Mom said. I already did. Check your phones. The family group chat was exploding. I'd sent everything. Bank statements showing the withdrawal. Jessica's surgery receipts. A timeline of my savings versus the theft. And the crown jewel, a recording I'd made of yesterday's conversation, legal in our one-party consent state. Beautiful daughters deserve investment. Mom's voice said clearly through Aunt Sharon's phone as she called Mom immediately. The relatives were horrified. Uncle Pete, Dad's brother, was the first to respond publicly. You stole from Meredith? For plastic surgery? What is wrong with you? Cousin Linda. She got into Johns Hopkins and you stole her money? Are you insane? Grandma's sister, Great Aunt Helen. Your mother would be disgusted. Thank God she's not alive to see this. But I wasn't done. Phase 2 was already in motion. I'd contacted Jessica's surgeon's office, pretending to be her, asking for an itemized receipt for insurance purposes. They'd sent it gladly. The real total? $43,000. Not $87,000. Where had the other $44,000 gone? I did some digging. Mom had gotten procedures too, subtle ones. Botox, fillers, a mini facelift. Dad had bought a new motorcycle, hidden at his friend's house. They'd stolen from my college fund, and Jessica's surgery was just the cover. I posted the receipts online. All of them. Family update, I wrote. They didn't just steal my medical school funds for my sister's surgery. They spent $44,000 on themselves. Mom got a facelift. Dad bought a Harley. They let me work 80-hour weeks for 8 years while they planned this. The explosion was nuclear. Jessica tried damage control, posting teary videos about how she was manipulated and didn't know where the money came from. Her followers turned on her when I posted screenshots of her texts to me from months ago. Can't wait until you're at school and I can have your room. Mom says I can turn it into a closet, lol. Mom's boss saw the posts, small town, everything spreads, and suddenly her position as church treasurer seemed questionable. If she'd steal from her own daughter. Dad's family disowned him completely. Uncle Pete drove over, punched him in the face, and left without saying a word. I watched from my window. But the real revenge came when I started medical school. See, Mr. Chun had helped me do more than just secure my inheritance. We'd also discovered that Grandma owned a percentage of the house. She'd helped with the down payment years ago. That percentage now belonged to me. I filed for petition sale. Either they bought me out, or the house would be forcibly sold. They couldn't afford to buy me out. Not after spending my college fund. The house sold in March. They had to move to a 2-bedroom apartment on the wrong side of town. Jessica's rich husband prospects evaporated when they realized she came with bankrupt, thieving parents as baggage. Turns out, men who marry for beauty don't want financial liabilities. I graduated medical school with honors. Specialized in pediatric oncology. Saved lives. Won awards. Got recruited by the best hospitals in the country. Jessica? Still living in that apartment, working at a makeup counter. Her surgery settling badly because she couldn't afford proper maintenance. The BBL looked ridiculous as she aged. The lip fillers migrated. The nose job collapsed. Turns out, you get what you pay for, and $43,000 split between multiple procedures doesn't buy quality. Mom sent me a message last year. We're struggling. You're a doctor now. Family helps family. I responded. Beautiful daughters deserve investment, remember? Invest in Jessica's beauty. See how far it gets you. Dad tried next. You were never college material anyway, but you proved us wrong. We're proud. Can we talk? I sent him a photo of my medical degree, my white coat, my stethoscope. The sturdy one did just fine without you. The last time I saw them was at Grandma's grave. I go every year on her birthday, bring her flowers, tell her about my saves. The 6-year-old with leukemia, the baby born at 25 weeks who survived, the teenager who beat brain cancer. They were there, looking small and old and bitter. Meredith, Mom started. Dr. Turner, I corrected. You destroyed our family, Jessica said, her voice nasal from the collapsed nose job. No, I said, arranging Grandma's flowers. You destroyed it when you chose greed over love. When you decided beauty mattered more than brains. When you saw my dreams as your piggy bank. We're your family, Dad said weakly. My family is the professors who mentored me. The classmates who studied with me. The patients who trust me. The woman whose life's work was saving so I could save others. I touched Grandma's headstone. You're just the people who stole from me. I left them there, crying poverty to a ghost who'd seen them coming. Last month, I performed a successful surgery on a little girl with a brain tumor. Her parents cried, called me an angel, said I'd saved their world. In the break room afterward, I thought about my family's words. You were never college material. I laughed. Really laughed. Beauty fades. Surgeries sag. Fillers migrate. Motorcycles rust. But knowledge? Skill? The ability to save lives? That's forever. They invested $87,000 in beauty. Grandma invested in brains. Guess who won?